Hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Pentiment. In the last episode, we confronted Prior Ferenc. We know that Lorenz wanted him to perform some type of ritual, and if Ferenc wouldn't comply, Lorenz was threatening to hand him over to the Inquisition. Now, I think that's pretty good motivation to commit murder. You know, wanting to avoid being burned at the stake. I think most people would want to avoid that fate. We also saw some evidence that Ferenc may have buried something in Gerhard's grave, so there may be a little bit of grave robbing in our future, but not just yet. I want to have a run around the abbey and see who there is to talk to. So I probably am going to cut through this. We'll start off with the scriptorium. We haven't explored there. But yes, I will be cutting through this. See you when we next have a conversation. Ooh, hello. Hello, we haven't been in here before. Monstrance, Chalice, Pater, Ciborum, and Purificator. Almost everything you need for mass other than the host, I believe that was. Probably where the funds of the abbey are stored. The sacristy is also the treasury. The armoires hold all the vestments Father Gernot and Brother Matthew used during Mass. Okay. Interesting. Oh, hello. Hello. This bloodstain is awful. It must have been left by the Baron before he died, but how? How indeed? Because he was found, like... I feel like the Baron was found sort of in the middle of the room. There's no other blood on the walls anywhere else. That is weird. That is weird. Yeah, there we go. We know that the Baron was hit once over the head. He was also stabbed, but that was accidentally self-inflicted. Like, he drew his dagger to defend himself, and then he lost consciousness, and he fell on his knife. So how would blood get over here? This has to be the Baron's blood. This isn't like the shovel, where you could make the argument, well, like, oh, it could be the Baron's blood, or it could be rabbit blood. Like, who's smearing rabbit blood on the wall? Who's doing that? No one. That's weird. That doesn't make any sense. This has to be the Baron's blood. Because who other's blood is it gonna be? I just don't know why. That is weird. Oh. Andreas, I am sorry about what is happening to Brother Piero. I do not know him well, but I find it hard to believe that he could have killed the Baron. He didn't. I'm going to figure out who did. Do you have any idea who might have done it? Did you see anything? Yeah. I think asking people, hey, did you see anything, is far more helpful than just saying, like, oh, he didn't do it. Do you have any idea who might have done it? Did you see anything? Sadly, no. Most mornings I spend my time reading in the courtyard, but the rain made that impossible. And although the brothers are friendly, I do not know them well enough to speculate. I am sorry. I know it might be far from your mind, but have you considered my offer to eat with you and the townspeople? The gospel says that man cannot live on bread alone, but from time to time a little bread is required. Oh. I need to continue looking into the Baron's murder, perhaps later. Of course, I'll talk to Gret and see who she wants to come along. Where should we meet you? Not now, but perhaps later. Yeah, maybe we will do this. Not now, but perhaps later. Of course, I understand. God give you health. Until later. Okay. Okay, so that's an option for dinner. Oh. God bless you, Andreas. Oh, this was one of the people we could ask to help us dig up the body, although I'm more inclined to go to Otto. Good day, Andreas. Do you need something? Father Abbot said I should help you if you needed it, so here I am. Oh, there's a matter I need your help with, Brother Volk, but I don't need anything just now, but thank you, Brother Volk. You know, I think we should go to Otto. I'm not going to ask Father Abbot for permission, because he's not going to give it. I know that damn well. We've pissed the man off too much. I'd rather get outside help than get inside help and, you know, kind of risk this man's livelihood. I don't need anything just now, but thank you, Brother Volkbert. You'll let me know if you do? I want to do as Father Abbot asked. Yeah, he's so obedient. Oh, the two lovers. Hello there. God bless you, Andreas. God bless you, Rudger. God bless you, Andreas. God bless you, Matthew. And you. Good day, Andreas. Oh, I don't like you. Oh, that's a wonder. Do you reckon we could persuade these two to let us in to see Piero? Hello, Lucas. I'm sorry, Andreas. I can't let you down there. Father Gernot doesn't want anyone talking to Brother Piero before the Archdeacon arrives. What am I going to do? Elope with him? Just a few minutes? That's ridiculous. Let's not be sarcastic. I mean, this man has done us no harm. Munchops McGee has done us no harm. He's just doing what Father Abbot told him. Just a few minutes? I really shouldn't. I need to talk to him. I don't like our odds here. I'm sorry, I can't. I understand. I'm sorry. No, you're right. I'll leave it alone. God bless you, Andreas. Oh, that's... I don't have any ill feelings towards this man. It's not... You know, he genuinely seems sorry about it. He clearly doesn't want to be doing this, but it's what he's been ordered to do. That's a bugger. Oh, do we want to risk speaking to Gernot? We had the option to back out of speaking with Volk, but... Because I really don't want to ask this guy for his permission. I don't want to clue him into what we're doing. Andreas. I trust you are abiding by my command to leave Piero and the rest of the monastics in peace. Oh. Father Gernot is in a difficult position. He hasn't been at the abbot long. Surely that would be abbey. Maybe that's he hasn't been the abbot long? Maybe that's what that's supposed to be. He hasn't been the abbot long. And he's young. The elder monks don't respect him. A friend of the prince bishop murdered under the roof of his abbey. It doesn't look good. If I represent a threat to the abbot's authority, he could expel me from the abbey, master work or not. I could lie and say I haven't investigated a single thing. I mean... he could have evidence that we've been investigating, in which case lying would make us look foolish. Oh. This is... I do understand Gernot's predicament. I don't like the guy, but I'm not blind to what he's going through. They've had this murder. You know, we know that this abbey isn't favoured. Quite frankly, it seems like this place should have been shut down decades ago, but for whatever reason, they've managed to keep it going. And that's what Gernot wants. He wants to keep the abbey going. And this is going to make that extremely difficult. And someone coming in, doing all of this shit, being disrespectful, because we have been disrespectful. I'm not saying that, you know, me pissing off Gernot has been, you know, the right thing to do. I'm doing it because I find it amusing. But I'm not saying, like, oh yeah, we're in the right for pissing him off. Like, I understand this man's predicament. I see where he is coming from. I can understand a lot of the things he is doing. I think to some degree, I can understand why he's probably such a harsh landlord. They need the money. They need the money. They need the funding, because you know they're not getting it from anywhere else. They had the one patron who is now dead. I don't know if they have any others. And if they do, they're probably going to start pulling their funding because, like, oh shit, Lorenz died? You know, we're patrons of this abbey, but patrons get murdered on sight. Like, no, that's cursed. That's a load of bullshit. Yeah, no, I'm going to pull my money out of this. Like, I don't like what he's doing with the taxes for the town. I don't like it, but I can understand why he's doing it. We weren't spotted. We weren't spotted yesterday. So I don't think it'll have gotten back to him that we were at the autopsy. But then again, I would assume it's probably known that we ended up in the library. Why would we be there if we weren't investigating? We were so vocal. We were so vocal about this being bullshit. He's not going to believe for a single second we haven't investigated. If I represent a threat to the abbot's authority, he could expel me from the abbey, masterwork or not. Then I may never discover who really killed Lorenz, and Piero will die for it. I should be careful not to alienate Gernot before the Archdeacon arrives. Oh. I wish I could see what his question... It was, you haven't been bothering the monastics. He's not going to believe a lie. I think I have to go with one of these. Oh, God, I mean, to be fair, our kind of... We don't have much evidence for him, but I still think that Lucky is the most likely candidate. He's gonna be the strongest out of all of them. I think how Matilda behaves belies her innocence. If she were guilty, why would she leave a bloody shovel just out and about? Attilia, I think, is too old. I simply think that Attilia doesn't have the strength for it. Ferenc might, if he were incandescent with rage, if he were filled with fury, if he were having a complete apoplexy, he might gain the strength necessary. Lucky, I think he has that as a base level. Lucky is a strong man. He's the stonemason. He is gonna be physically strong. And if you add rage on top of that strength, so in a way, like, no, I haven't been harassing the monks. I've been pursuing other leads. We're going for it. No, I've been pursuing other leads, as you should be. I don't like that last bit, but oh well. This will be remembered. Oh well, clearly you do not understand the grave nature of this situation. Moreover, I do not appreciate your implication that I have done nothing as we await the arrival of the Archdeacon. Just because you do not see people act does not mean their actions cease to exist, Andreas. That is wise. I actually agree with that. I agree with that, but I don't like how you've treated Clara. I find it amusing. I find it amusing to piss off the abbot, even if it bites me in the backside later on. I don't care. A perfect playthrough would be very, very boring. I want a little bit of drama. Just because you do not see people act does not mean their actions cease to exist, Andreas. There is more at stake here than you understand, Andreas. Yeah, Again, I can understand his concern. I can understand why he would want to have a sacrificial lamb. Like, oh, hello, Archdeacon. Yes, I understand that you want to shut down this abbey. I understand that we are not well respected and that, a friend of yours was murdered on sight. However, we've caught the killer. Here you go. Surely that will improve our standing, a little bit. We found the killer of your friend. I can understand why he would do this. I don't hate Gernot to the point where I'm like, every action he does is unjustifiable and he has no rhyme or reason for his arseholery. No, I get it. The man has logic. The man has a reason for his behaviour. I just don't like said behaviour. There is more at stake here than you understand, Andreas. A case. I would assume that is case. Yet, given that I am not the Lord and don't have perfect understanding of all things, of course that's the case. That may be, but I can't in good conscience let an innocent man face death while a murderer runs loose. What is at stake here exactly? This sounds rather sarky. Sarcastic. Just in case you're not familiar with that slang. Is she talking about, the Japanese beverage? No. I don't have perfect understanding of all things. Of course that's the case. No. I mean, here we're saying, there's stuff at stake, but I'm gonna keep meddling in your business. He's probably not going to take too kindly to that. I mean, he could just turn around and say, oh, well, it's none of your business. But, at least with this one, we're trying to get an understanding. We're trying to say, hey, Gernot, where are you coming from? Tell me exactly, so that we're on the same page here. What is at stake here, exactly? Aside from an innocent man's life, of course. Extant? I'd assume that is extant. Okay. There are few extant double monasteries with working scriptoriums any longer. They're costly to operate and the church does not approve of them. Baron Rothvogel was a friend of the Prince Bishop, And if the Prince Bishop were so inclined, he could order the abbey closed and our community disbanded. A community of which you are not a member, and so whose precarity you can't understand. I thought you were a clever man, Andreas. Your ignorance disappoints me. No, I was literally saying all of this, but it's nice to have it confirmed. I can understand where he's coming from. But Piero didn't do this. Piero couldn't have done this. I mean, surely you're running the risk of the Archdeacon arriving. Okay, you've got the murderer. Where's this murderer? And they roll out this geriatric old man. He can't walk straight. His hands are bent. Surely there's a chance that the Archdeacon could say, "Are you kidding me? What? What? Bring out the murderer. It's a 4-year-old. It's little Ursula. Like, why are you presenting me with someone who couldn't have possibly done it? Do you think I'm this thick? Do you think I'm this thick? You may as well have given me a child as the murderer. Because they're just as capable as this old-ass man. Like, surely there is the chance that the Archdeacon may say, no, I don't believe this. You're just accusing anyone to get me off your back. And that could put you in even worse stead. Or the Archdeacon may just go, okay, the old-ass man did it. The old-ass man who can't properly grip anything because of his hands. Yeah, he did it, totally, 100%. I don't know, I thought you were a clever man, Andreas. Your ignorance disappoints me. I'm ignorant of a lot of things. For example, the identity of who really murdered Lorenz Rothogel. This just seems to be trying to get a rise out of him. I don't wish to disappoint you, Father Gernot, but neither do I wish for an innocent man to die based on circumstance alone. I kind of do want to disappoint him. I am actively trying to set up a rivalry between these two, but I'm not. There's no point to this. This is getting a rise out of him for the sake of getting a rise out of him. This serves no purpose. At least with the other times we've gotten a rise out of him, it was so that we could be in Lorenz's good graces. You know, like at the dinner, where we chose, like, okay, do we want to keep this guy happy, or do we want to debate Lorenz? Well, Lorenz is a noble. He might be able to fund our career later on, so, like, let's do this. You know, yes, we were spiting this man, but there was a purpose to it. This serves no purpose. I don't wish to disappoint you, Father Gernot, but neither do I wish for an innocent man to die based on circumstance alone. No, which is why I've come to you with a request. And oh no, I don't want to ask this. I assumed, again, we had the option to say, not today, Volk, but I assumed that if we ended up in this, that we'd get the option to back out. Oh, that's a bugger. Ferenc is Gernot's assistant. Suggesting Ferenc might have killed Lorenz might anger the abbot if the two are close. The brothers chose Gernot over Ferenc because they didn't find Ferenc trustworthy. Gernot might not either. I don't want to ask this question. To be brutally honest. That's a bug. Why would they not give you the option to back out? Why would they not give you the option to say, actually, never mind, you're right, I'll stop interfering and I'm going to go to Otto and I'm going to secretly dig up the body? Like, why? Oh, that's a bug. Oh, well. Mistakes were made. That's the risk you run with a blind Let's Play. You might end up doing something that otherwise you wouldn't have done if you'd have known ahead of time. Oh. have we seen him interact with Ferenc? We saw them in the scriptorium together, but they weren't really interacting. They were interacting with Lorenz. Someone wanted to eat at the abbot's table. That was Father Thomas. That was Father Thomas at the beginning, like, oh, is there room for me? Oh, yeah, sure, come along. Here's the thing, he's going to want to keep suspicion off the monks. Yes, he's using one of his own as a sacrificial lamb, but that's because he was found at the scene with the knife. I'm sure if someone else, if a townsperson had been there, he would have immediately placed the blame on them. I mean, there's us, but we arrived way after. If there had been someone with Piero stood in the blood, I'm sure he would have said, like, oh, Piero, like, you must have found him. Like, get to safety, Piero. You, Martin, get arrested. Why couldn't it have been Martin? Things would be so much simpler if Martin was the killer. Suggesting Ferenc might have killed Lorenz might anger the abbot if the two are close. I could keep Ferenc's name out of it entirely, but then my reasoning would sound rather vague. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're not going to get permission. We are not going to get permission. We have pissed this man off royally. I have reason to believe there is something hidden in Brother Gerhard's grave, and I'd like to dig it up. I have reason to believe Prior Ferenc has hidden something in Brother Gerhard's grave, and I'd like to dig it up. Let's go with the first one. I have reason to believe there is something hidden in Brother Gerhard's grave, and I'd like to dig it up. What does that have to do with the death of Baron Rothvogel? I suspect the weapon used to murder the Baron may be buried there. I'm not certain of the connection yet, but I have a hunch. I don't think the weapon is going to be there. I think Lucky probably has it, but... I mean, it's a reason. Come like, oh, I'm not certain. Let's just dig up a man's grave. Like, I suspect the weapon used to murder the Baron may be buried there. Baron Rothvogel was stabbed. We know the murder weapon used to kill him. Brother Piero was found holding it. The Baron's stab wound was self-inflicted. He was killed by a blow to the head. He could have suffered 2 fatal injuries, all that blood. Weird. He's going to ask, how do you know this? How do you know this? Then again, we've had access to the abbey. I went and spoke to Brother Florian. You won't have seen that because he didn't have anything to say aside from God bless you, but we've spoken to him. He could have told us just now. Oh, God. If we're too vague, he's going to say no. If we're overly specific, then we're going to show our hand that we've been investigating everyone. He wants to believe that he was killed by stabbing. He wants to believe this. I think we have to. Like, I'm committing to it. The Baron's stab wound was self-inflicted. He was killed by a blow to the head. How do you know this? I recall telling you to stay off Abbey grounds after the body was discovered. I examined his body with Brother Florian. Yep. Florian let me watch his investigation of Lorenz's wounds against the abbot's wishes. It would be ungrateful of me to reveal his disobedience to the abbot. But what we learned might help convince the abbot that Piero couldn't have killed Lorenz. I think... I don't think we can... I don't think we should throw Brother Florian under the bus. Like, I mean, we do have a medical degree. If we could bring that up, like, oh, it's evident to anyone who gives the Baron, you know, a cursory examination. I have medical training. I should know, like, oh. I can't throw Florian under the bus. It's evident to anyone who gives Baron Rothvogel's body more than a cursory examination. Are you suggesting I didn't give the murder of Baron Rothvogel my due attention? You seem to think I don't care who killed the Baron, or whether Piero is the one who did it. I do. But I have a role to play here, and I can't be seen to undermine the authority of the Archdeacon in stepping outside of it. Do you take me for a fool? I will not let you exhume Brother Gerhard's body on a hunch. Yep. Yeah, we are not getting this. We are not getting that. We're getting plus points for the logician background. But yet, no. What does it matter? He's nothing more than bones now. I'm sure he won't mind. Yep. He was a brother of this abbey, and he should be left in peace. Just as I would like to be. Leave now, and do not pester me about this again. Oh, permission to dig denied. Oh, that's a bug. I thought we'd get the option to back out. I thought we could just have a chat with him, and that we wouldn't be locked into asking him about the body. Well, we don't need your permission if we go to Otto. We are... We are gonna get kicked out of this. We are gonna piss this man off so much that he's like, oi, fuck off. Do one, I'm not having you here. Like, I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. Hello, Fushton. You'd let me dig up the body, wouldn't you? Yeah, look at that happy little tail. That tail says, yes, I'd let you dig up anyone. Could I have the femur? Yes, you could have the femur, Fushton. You could have his femur. Oh, bless you. Oh, there goes my timer. Ah, Master Mailer, would you care to share dinner at my table? I would like to talk to you about my late husband. Yeah, I'm afraid I have other engagements. I have to explore the town. I understand. Some other time, perhaps. I mean, having dinner with Lady Selamia would be interesting, because she could give us a load of gossip on Lorenz. However, here's the thing. She can't really tell us anything about, you know, why he died. Who's likely to have killed him? Like, local gossip? That's what we need. We need local gossip. And she's not going to have any of that. She's going to be able to tell us what kind of man Lorenz was, but we don't really need to know that. We know he was a scumbag. He was a scumbag and an arsehole. And whoever killed him, more than likely, had very justifiable reasons for it. Oh, that's a bugger. That's a bugger. Oh, well, I am just about out of time for this episode. In the next one, we explore the town looking for any gossip there. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.